And now, our feature presentation.
Hey guys, I'm Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
And I'm Cruz.
And welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse, a determinedly drunk, geeky, and cheerful podcast where wolves be housed and extremely entertained, bringing you all the latest entertainment news. Sets a lot like a music appreciation class. We talk about what's going on in certain topics and see how people react to them in certain ways. And that song that you were listening to was...
It was the 8-bit version of To Hell and Back by Sabaton.
I didn't know they made an 8-bit version, but hey...
It's an unofficial 8-bit version.
Not the band, right. Not the band itself. There's a bunch of other YouTubers who make it. It's amazingly talented people who do this.
It's amazing the shit you can find on the internet.
At Sabaton's show, they did play over the speakers an 8-bit version of Masters of the World. Of course, they themselves didn't make it, but they recognized it, which was awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So before we begin the show, we actually want to address something real quick here. Unfortunately, we just heard about the mass shooting that went on in Texas at the church. We are very, very saddened to hear about that, and we hope that the families are doing okay. If there's any indication, I am hoping that everyone is all right, and hopefully we'll be able to move on from this as quickly as possible. I mean, not really much to say about that, but I
way to bring everybody down.
yeah, we're not trying to bring everybody down, but you know, that's how some. Unfortunately, the news does that to you. You know, like you think you're all prepared, and then something like this happens, and then like you have to make an impromptu announcement about it that's not even on the agenda. What decency is that? And we just, you know, and it's out everywhere on the news that we just, you know, we can't like pretend it's not going on. You know,
I mean, this is like even with something that was related, because what happened in Las Vegas was at a music festival. This is, of course, not really music related, aside from the fact that there is, of course, music in church. But everyone knows that. This is an issue that's been around since the shooting at Sandy Hook, and I mean, we've made like fuck all progress on taking action against this. I mean, I am a supporter of the Second Amendment, and still I think that we should at least ban assault weapons. That's just my piece. But of course, we are not like a political talk show. But of course, these things do.
Hell no.
Yes,
it's hard to avoid them sometimes, because of course everybody around you is talking about them. So
yeah,
to avoid it is to just isolate yourself.
I mean, we are an entertainment channel first, and we are by no means a political channel at all. So, yeah. On that note, we are going to move on, but we just want to like take a few minutes just to, you know, hopefully there will be some, you know, some healing. I would say thoughts and prayers, but then people are starting to get like all
triggered.
You need to do more than just thoughts and prayers, but hey, if Princess Carolyn from BoJack Horseman taught us anything, it's how to just say thoughts and prayers and just move on with your life.
Literally in church.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, that's what we do. That's like thoughts and prayers, and it's all part and parcel of city life. Fuck you.
Oh, good lord.
God.
Yeah,
I want that to be turned into a soundbite meme.
I do not. I'm sorry if you guys heard that, but unfortunately,
the sound pipes that we had because our architect is stupid. There's a football game going on right now. My dad's a little antsy in his pantsy.
Yeah, apparently because the Seattle Seahawks are losing, as they should be. Anyway,
to the Redskins at home as a Ravens fan.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on with the sort of the thing, because we do have a special announcement, don't we, Naka?
We got money!
Okay, well, don't say it like that, but come on.
Felix Silverclaw donated again with another $10 with the message of :3.
That's all you need.
And we get the swimming dog and the piece from Outrun 2006.
You turn your volume down on your computer, right?
Yes.
Then why am I hearing music? I hear a little something.
Microphone gain.
No.
I don't have everything pumping through my headphones because I gotta do multiple sound layers-ish, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, of course. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Anyway, Felix, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think we should get Felix on the show.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you guys think?
I agree.
Of course, this is not a buy your way in business, but
yeah, it is not a buy your way. But anyway, Felix, we do want to say thank you very much for donating to us. We are gonna make sure that it will go to a great cause. I mean, as you can already tell, we already did use some of our donation funds to get Naka a beautiful Blue Yeti microphone, which he is using to his fullest capability. And if you guys are interested in donating to us, please send us a donation at Subwuffer Entertainment via Streamlabs. We hope that you. This is the time where Naka puts the link up.
Oop.
Anyway,
hey. Don't judge me.
You can only do so many shameless plugs on our show.
It is not mandatory donating. Do not feel obligated to donate. However, it is not mandatory. You do not need to donate at all. But if you want to make sure that Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse becomes a bigger and better place, you can't. I mean, We're not like taking. This isn't something that we do. We don't ask rent. We don't ask for anything. We're just asking for your support, and we do appreciate all the support that you can give to us. Right, guys?
Yes. And
Jeez, it took you long enough. Good lord.
I also have a thing to announce.
Oh, okay.
Earlier in the week, or a few days ago, whenever Scarfy put out the tweet to the account, some may have missed that I have actually set up a public Discord for anybody and everybody to join.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody and everybody are free to join the Discord whenever you want. It is not mandatory, just like donating. But if you want to talk to each other in between shows or during shows, you can go there.
You know, I tend to wonder if what's a better app nowadays, Telegram or Discord. I can never tell.
Discord's more meant for gaming.
For different niche is that they're both become, there's one thing that's like a meme of like the who would win meme, and I think it was Skype, and then versus Discord, it's like $1 billion something company versus Discord, like a small startup. Like, yeah.
So yeah. Just for the record, yeah, that's really all we have to say. But anyway, I guess it's now a better time more than ever to get right on to things. So we're gonna go ahead and start the agenda off.
Into the
with cruise with music.
All right. Well,
Cruise, take it away.
Yeah. Just a few little things. Well, there's actually only one little thing. It is another hint at what is to come. There is another update on the long-awaited new Slipknot album. So this comes from Shawn Crahan, aka Clown, one of the percussionists of the band. He's revealed that their blueprints for the new album have been laid out, and that work will begin once Corey Taylor is returned from touring with the side project Stone Sour. I'm pretty fucking excited for new stuff from Slipknot. And yeah, it's just a little thing that Link. What? She got.
Oh my god! I'm sorry.
I try to be subtle about it, but yeah.
Wait, what's going on?
I forgot. I did it stupid.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
It's fine.
Don't
It got
worry
out there in
about
the
it.
end.
Wait, what's going on?
My ass.
No, really, what's going on? Go ahead, tell me.
You missed the whole. I can't believe you didn't notice it. Okay.
No, I was busy taking care of business.
Yeah,
Continue.
the link didn't go up immediately, so I reminded him, and normally that's what you do. But yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Naka, you really need to get on top of that. No offense.
You're not my dad.
You're not my dad. Okay.
I'm your werewolf dad. Anyway, continue.
No, you're not.
Yeah. So, I mean, granted, we've gotten to see new stuff from Stone Sour with Hydrograd, which has been doing pretty well in the rock charts. The last album from Slipknot was back in, I think it's 2014,
Right.
after the death of their bass player. So they've been trying to readjust for that, and I believe they found a new groove since then, because some of the songs from that album are pretty damn good, especially, of course, The Devil and I. Yeah. New Slipknot. More details should be coming soon.
Oh, all right. Now we're going to move on to the news that...
Why?
This is why I have a giant natty bow next to me.
I thought it was a Jaeger planet.
I wish it was.
Yeah,
I'm too poor.
Go ahead and read it.
Yeah, as my little aside is my dad told me that his dad would buy PBR because that's all he could afford at the time, because it's cheap beer. Same thing with Natty Boh, because Natty Boh is from the same company, so it's about the same price. Yep. Regarding the money thing, they don't pay me enough to do this job.
We don't pay you at all.
I hate this. They say a reputation takes years to build and seconds to destroy. I forget for the life of me what movie that's in. I think it was called something called Stardust. I think. Well, the good news is for Taylor Swift, she can't destroy her reputation if she never had one to begin with. So the abomination, album is called Reputation and will be avoidable, available on November 10th. Let me be clear. Taylor Swift fucking sucks. She can't write her own music. She definitely can't play guitar worth a bucket of warm piss coming from somebody who's actually played guitar for 11 years and an 8-string guitar at that for the past full year. She most certainly cannot sing, at least without making my skin crawl. Crawling in my Okay. Before you say, but why are metalheads so intolerant of other music? Of course you're going to say this because you're a metalhead. Well, that's only partially true. And second, it's because of shit like this being shoved down our throats because it's quote-unquote good by virtue of being, quote, popular. I've conceded that I appreciate Adele on occasion because there's actually some form of talent there. But beyond that, pop is a fucking disease. It clogs up the music industry. The same old auto-tuned, incomprehensible noise that is somehow music. And before someone says, but metal is just noise. What? It's actually some noise with some balls behind it. One other thing, if you think the music that I like or that I play or that I listen to isn't family friendly, then fuck your family. You don't need to worry about buying this album as these songs will be rammed down your throat as it is. No, look at what you made me do, you talentless fame whore. There's 1 million dislikes on that video. Oops. That says something. Even it says something because it's in the midst of a rabid horde of Swift fans. It's not just like It's not like this is the reception it's getting. It's like this is something in spite of the fucking horde that's fighting. Like that's just saying, "Oh, Taylor Swift, I love Taylor Swift." Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yes, the thing Felix quickly mentioned. Yes, Powerwolf is rumored to be working on a new album. I'm very excited for that. Their last album was Blessed and Possessed in 2015, which I think is pretty damn good.
But we'll focus that on another time. Anyway, yeah.
Taylor will of course provide you updates if we get something from a reputable source for that.
Yeah. Anyway, Taylor Swift, guys, I'm sorry, Adele is more natural than her.
Like it's kind of like do you have a natural scale? You have like at least something like around 80s versus negative 5,000 originality.
I would like to think so. I mean, like, Adele is something from...
Hello.
Adele has actual fucking talent, as opposed to
I think we're running
Taylor
into
Swift.
a copyright thing here. In the fucking...
Yeah.
I love that.
What do you think, Naka?
What do I think? Fuck Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift sucks.
What about Adele?
Adele actually has some talent. I know. It's very strange for me to say that a pop artist has talent.
Well, I mean, she is using her actual voice, not just auto-tune, but...
That is true.
And I think that's kind of... She would... I mean, it's not for the sake of... It's for popularity's sake. I mean, of course, that's the best genre to go into, pop. Because that's kind of what it got its name from. But I think if she expands into other, just like experimental things, like, I mean, she's been playing it safe relatively, but she's, expands into some other things, like, I don't know, doing some other genres or whatever. Not saying that she should do metal. I mean, she could do symphonic metal very well.
Right.
But, I mean, she could just potential to do a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. Just a little thought.
Naka, what's going on?
What's going on? What?
I hear like background something. I don't know. I thought I heard background in there.
What background do you mean?
Yeah,
People
never
talking.
mind.
As in, like,
Just people-
somebody trying to close a door, going into a laundry room, trying to do some laundry? Guess what? I still live at home.
Yeah, well. Anyway, I think we should move on to something a little bit more.
You'll hear background noise because this microphone will pick up everything.
It's that good.
It even picks up my soft, angelic voice. Anyway, can you go ahead and move on to
picks up my thoughts.
the next
Wake
thing
me
you have on your
up.
list?
Wake me up. Can't wake up.
Well, actually, we don't have
Save
the can't.
me.
Well, the good news is they don't have can't wake up anymore, so we can wake up. So, when rock bands flirt with electronica elements, it can be a risky venture. Either it goes very well or very poorly. The band, of course, we were mentioning is Evanescence, known for Amy Lee's powerful vocals and the band's gothic style. They've decided to incorporate electronica elements into their music for their fourth studio album, appropriately titled Synthesis, coming November 10th. Although the band is currently on tour. Usually sometimes bands release albums while on tour if they want to debut songs at certain points. Who knows? But as of right now, the next that they're in Boston today, they will be in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania on the 7th and Baltimore on the next day. They're coming through the Midwest, Canada, in Toronto, Ontario, almost, well, Toronto, yes, because that's where that is, and the West Coast before heading off to Australia and Europe. For familiarity's sake, I've included or linked the reworked version of Bring Me to Life, which does not feature the backup vocals of Can't Wake Up and that little breakdown. And I have to say, it's not about a remix. It definitely emphasizes the symphonic feel of the song. It's a bit more it just is, it's lighter, it flows better. Although, of course, I do kind of like the original better. But Lacrimosa and Imperfection are also available. I do think that this has been a fairly successful venture incorporating the electronica elements for Evanescence. I mean, like when we checked in with the Kaiser Chiefs a while back, that just kind of turned into just bland bullshit that's been completely like electronicized or whatever. Fucking, I don't know words, but this the electronic elements actually accentuate the sound of Evanescence fairly well, I'd like to say.
Yeah, I totally see what you mean. My mom actually listened to Evanescence back then, and she was like a huge like fan, and I like kind of sung along with her. Naka, did you listen to Evanescence growing up or no?
Not too much, other than, you know, the meme song, Wake Me Up Inside.
You mean the song from Daredevil? Yeah. Okay.
It was in Daredevil, yes.
Even though Daredevil was kind of movie.
Yeah, I liked that movie actually.
The director's cut is a little bit better.
I don't know which one I've seen. I probably didn't see the director's cut though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, but yeah, Evanescence. I mean, they seem to be doing very, very well. I mean, let that speak for itself. But what do you have to say, Naka?
I mean, I always like it when, you know, bands from a while ago come back, make music. It's always fun to see bands from the past making music for the future. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Evanescence for what they are. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying that, you know, like they're the super omega best thing in the world, because that's Metallica.
Right.
Wow, look at me. Oh, I'm an elitist when it comes to Metallica. They're my favorite band of all time, okay? Shut the fuck up.
That's okay.
Well, I give Evanescence a break because they actually can make some good music.
Yeah. So
If you're eating food, mute your mic.
No.
That's the rule. If you're like opening a bag, you need to mute your mic.
I don't know what you mean. The Okay, that's pushing it.
That's my can of Mountain Dew White Label. Product placement.
Very
Brought
nice.
to you by Pepsi.
Very nice. Actually, White Label's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, so Evanescence, I like they're kind of similar to Seether, which I've liked Seether more, and of course Amy Lee, of course, has done the what is it? I was going to say compilation collaboration with Seether on Broken, which is very good. What else? And there's also a really cool acoustic version that she sang with Korn of Freak on a Leash, which is very haunting and mellow. But that's enough of Evanescence. Ugh. Stay away from my squarebuddies. And now, British R&B singer Seal.
Adult seal clubbing.
Seal clubbing. It's fucking. I wish I could remember word for word that Dennis Leary rant thing from the I'm an asshole, yo.
Keep going.
But yes, Seal, 10th studio album, Standards, coming November 10th. And this comes after his contract with Warner Bros. Records apparently expired, so the album will be released through Universal Music. According to the information on the Wikipedia page, so take this with a grain of salt, Seal does not plan to sign with another major label, being it's later in his career. What that means for the future, I'm not too sure. But anyway, I've linked his cover of I've Got You Under My Skin, which was also the opening song for Batman Arkham Knight, very fitting for the opening in a Gotham diner. And also reminds me that there's a cover Seether did of that song, which, like the cover of Careless Whisper, is pretty damn good. So if you want some jazz-infused R&B to unwind with, this is an album worth getting. It does not explicitly say it is a cover album, but I believe that's what most of these songs are.
You know, speaking of Seal, I literally had to send you a song of probably his most famous song he ever sang, and you were like,
Yes, remember it was.
Yeah.
That's in fucking, what is it? What's it called? We're the Millers.
well, no, it first debuted in Batman Forever, but yeah.
What was it? It was,
Were the Millers or something like that.
I don't know. Whatever.
Just don't talk with your mouth full.
Okay. I won't.
I mean, to be fair, I cashed out a customer yesterday, and I wanted to finish eating my food real quick. And he was like, okay, fine, finish your food. I actually don't care.
Very nice.
Yeah. But anyway, regarding Seal, are you finished eating, Cruz?
Finished my impromptu eating, I guess.
All right. Well, what do you?
More later.
Okay. Well, just so you know, Seal is not the Batman Arkham game wasn't the only song that Seal was included in. He was also included in Batman Forever, which, love or hate, it's a movie by Joel Schumacher who brought you the Bat credit card. But anyway.
Bat credit card.
Yeah. What do you have to say regarding Seal, Naka?
He's adult seal clubbing, not baby seal clubbing.
Right.
Yay.
But
Anyway.
but Seal.
Seal, actually makes some pretty decent music. Again, R&B, not really my genre, but, you know, it's music that I wouldn't turn off if it came on the radio.
Well, it's very relaxing.
It is. And, I mean, it was of course, the original version of the song that was in the Batman game. I just remembered it because of that, because I played it a while ago.
Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I didn't play the other two. I did play a little bit of I think it was Arkham Asylum. I think it was. Yeah. But yeah, I like when they include some of that music into games. It gives it kind of a, I don't know, it just fit the vibe of the city that was in
Right.
the intro credits. Oh! You ready for the last thing?
Yes.
The reason that I included the feature presentation song is because of what's coming up next, and that is a Sabaton and Kreator co-headlining tour in North America. And by now, you should know that I'm a pretty big fan of Sabaton, having seen them live 3 times, which is about to be 4 times, most likely. And you can imagine how much I fanboyed over this announcement. The Swedish power metal band Sabaton will be returning to the US on a co-headlining tour with German thrash metal band Kreator. A pretty good pair, if you ask me. Yeah. Of the times that I've seen Sabaton, the first was when they were supporting Nightwish. The second was when they're supporting Trivium, who I also saw on Halloween. Good show. Jolly good show. And this past year, it was their first headlining tour since 2012. The tour will start on February 8th in Phoenix and will end on March 10th in Tampa, Florida. It's very likely I'll be attending the show on March 7th in Silver Spring. So, whether you're a thrasher or a power metal fan, or better yet, both, you do not want to miss this tour. Sabaton will be touring once again in support of their 2016 album The Last Stand, and Kreator will be touring in support of their release from this year, Gods of Violence. And if we could get Scarfy out to a show, it'll be the second on their tour, which is February 9th in LA. They'll also be passing through Seattle on February 13th. Tickets are being sold as of this announcement. No warnings of low ticket or sold out shows as of yet. So you
Happy fucking
safe.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So you are interested in going to this, aren't you?
Potentially.
Oh, well.
It would all have to work out with my school schedule. I'd have to see what was going on the next day.
Why do you guys want me to go to bands when they're so expensive, guys?
Well, the tickets are like $27 for this one. Normally, their tickets for other shows are much more expensive. I mean, the cheapest ones I've noticed were from Ticketfly events, which is when I got. That's where I got the ticket for Dragon Force, and I think Trivium's as well.
Okay.
But this one is through Ticketmaster and I think Live Nation as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm not gonna take up too much time just fanboying because you already know how much I love this band, and that I will jump on the opportunity to see them again, especially because they're co-headlining with a band like Kreator, which, although I have not listened to them as much, I got their new album, and I'd be pretty psyched to see them in concert because I imagine that it's a great show.
And anyway, that's really all I have to say regarding Sabaton. And you, Naka?
I might potentially go see Sabaton. It all depends on my work schedule, but it does give me an opportunity to go to more concerts. So I'll take it.
All right. Well, Bruce?
That's it. But, well, sort of on a segue. Your first trailer, Naka, there is a missed opportunity to include a certain song by Slayer. And with that, I will give it to you.
See, I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to that, but it's...
There's a Slayer song. That's the title of the game.
It's time for Payback. Specifically, Need for Speed Payback.
Yeah, we're in video games now, guys.
Hey,
Payback's a bitch, motherfucker!
After the failure that was Need for Speed 2015, EA and Ghost Games took a year off, or 2 years technically, and they set out to make Need for Speed great again. Political joke.
I did a meme.
Not shoving a release last year after the fan-based failure that was Need for Speed 2015, Ghost Games and EA actually took their time with a new game. While the story is much better than said previous title, it's kind of a Fast and Furious in the story department. You take part of a crew to take down the House, who is a cartel who controls Fortune Valley street racing underworld.
Right.
The 3 parts of this crew are the racer, specializing in race and drag events, the showman, specializing in drift and dirt events, and the Wheelman specializing in midnight runs and taking down cop cars and cop chases. Amazingly enough, you can actually pause the game while playing offline, unlike Rivals and Need for Speed 2015.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
I missed in Underground 2. You can pause whenever the fuck you wanted.
Well, good news, you can pause whenever the hell you want in this, except for online, which is obvious.
Online,
but
that kind of makes, that makes a lot more sense.
And the physics are far better than Need for Speed 2015. But this isn't coming from other people. This is coming from myself. I spent the money for Origin Access, which was actually on sale, so I got a year for $30. And it gives me not only access to early trials, but I get access to a whole load of games, such as Battlefield Hardline Ultimate Edition, a couple of Need for Speed games. Basically, I get a lot of stuff for $30. And I say, if you want to just try it out before you buy it, you could get EA Access or Origin Access, depending on what platform you're on, for $5. And you pretty much can play any EA game that's in their vault at the time, and early trials. And I highly recommend that you have play the trial before the full release, which is on the 10th of November for Xbox One, PS4, and Windows.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was looking at Need for Speed, and I think the only Need for Speed game I ever played was the PC game. I think it was Need for Speed 2 on the PC. So I'm really surprised how this how this video game is going to work. Also, I'm sorry to hate you on this, Naka, but fuck the movie.
I was gonna say there was a movie, but
yeah, it's not very good. I do like that there was no CG in it, though.
Yeah, but that's all there was to it. But anyway, I don't have any intentions on getting this game anytime soon. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. Cruz, I heard you're a very big Need for Speed fan as well.
I've played quite a few of them. The first being Underground 2, when I got a GameCube when I was 8. I think since then I've played Hot Pursuit, Carbon, Shift, and Rivals, which was the not that good one. But the visuals on that were pretty dope. But beyond that, it was just kind of bland. I'm glad that they're actually putting more of a story back into it, even if it's not like a perfect story. That, at least it's something that makes it a little more exciting. And also the title, of course, reminds me for the song by Slayer, Payback, which, I mean, they could have definitely included in this trailer, but they didn't.
Because
the chorus goes, tear your fucking eyes out, rip your fucking flesh off, beat you to just a fucking lifeless carcass. I mean, they're not gonna be able to put that in a commercial. I mean, come on. But I'll definitely listen to it while playing that.
Felix, which Most Wanted are you talking about? Are you talking about the 2005 release or the 2012 release? Because that is incredibly important when you're talking about Most Wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a huge distinction between the two games. They have the same name, but they are very, very different.
Yes, they are.
So think about this one. I don't know for sure if I'll get it, but I do want to get a Need for Speed game that's good and on Xbox. So, I mean, nothing to me compares to Underground 2, which was my personal favorite of the series, because that one just had the best soundtrack, just combining hip hop and hard rock and metal. It's just all good shit.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm going to
Jolly good shit.
definitely consider this heavily, if not buying it.
Oh, good. You're talking about 2005, not Burnout Paradise 2, which is Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012.
I heard that one's awful.
It shouldn't have a Most Wanted name on it. It should be called Burnout Paradise 2 because it was made by the people who made Burnout Paradise.
Makes sense.
That's how it goes.
Anyway, is that all that we have to talk about for the latest and pretty good Need for Speed title?
Just one more.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Payback's a bitch, Cheryl.
Cheryl. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's the fucking Rob Scallion video of when they did a ukulele cover of Payback from Slayer, and it's like, hey, because she did it. The girl he does it with did it because someone ate their cupcakes, and she says, "Payback's a bitch, Cheryl," for feeding her cupcakes, which is a reason to want to kill someone. I mean, it's you don't just touch someone. You don't take someone's cupcakes like that. It's just wrong.
Anyway, so we're moving on to Sonic Forces, and spoiler alert, I'm not entirely interested in it. I'd rather play Mania. I'd rather play Sonic Mania, in my opinion.
That's a good one.
But that's my opinion, and my opinion is like an asshole. Everybody's got one.
Some are bigger than others.
You forgot to mention some smell sweeter than most, but keep going.
So, aided by a mysterious being named Infinite, Dr. Eggman has managed to conquer most of the world, employing an army of villains under his command, including Shadow the Edgehedge, Metal Sonic, Chaos, oh great, Sonic Adventure, and Zavik. To combat Eggman's forces, Knuckles the Echidna, forms a resistance, recruiting his friends and gathering other rebels to their cause. Joined by his past self again from another dimension and a rookie Resistance member, Sonic the Hedgehog seeks to put a stop to Eggman's reign. Also, by the way, Episode Shadow is a free DLC for Sonic Forces that will launch alongside the game. The story acts as a prequel to the main game and focuses on Shadow the Hedgehog and his friends Rouge the Bat and E123 Omega, and also explores the origins of Infinite. Players control Shadow, who handles similarly to modern Sonic because this is it's basically the second generations, and but has unique abilities such as the ability to perform a quick chain of homing attacks in rapid succession. The pack adds 13 extra levels to the game. 3 are original, while 10 are redesigned versions of modern Sonic stages. It's a new game based off of Sonic Generations, one of the better titles of the decade. Oh. And you know that original character that you might have made when you were a fanboy of Sonic?
Yeah.
You can actually play as your original the character without modding. Original the character is finally in a Sonic game for realsies.
Well, that'll be an incentive for certain people.
It does look
going.
pretty good, so if you want to pick it up, it's out on the 7th for Windows, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One in North America and everywhere else. In Japan, quite weirdly, it comes out on the 9th.
Interesting.
But at least you get something first.
You know, I'm really, really surprised that original the character is no longer a meme now. Because remember, like when people started to make up their own Sonic characters, because
I don't even remember. I think mine was like yellow and purple. It looks kind of like Renamon.
and then we like literally realized that furry is way better than Sonic. No offense, but you know the Sonic fanboys out there. I do have a friend who was a fan of Sonic. To be honest, I can only hope that Sonic gets better with time. So I'm pretty sure that this, next game is going to be an interesting take, considering that you're getting like all of the original baddies from different other Sonic games. You have Metal Sonic from Sonic Heroes. You have Omega from not Omega. Chaos from Sonic Adventure 1, I believe. I might be wrong.
Sonic Adventure 1.
Okay. And then you have like Shadow the Hedgehog, which I'm really surprised is actually a villain because
You mean
he's
Shadow
clearly
the Edgehedge?
Yeah.
Gotta get that detail right.
That meme.
So what's your opinion on the whole create your own character? In my opinion, we kind of knew about this before it became a thing, right?
Yeah,
It was inevitable, really.
It's really just like fan service, I guess, because they kind of need that because Mario essentially defeated Sonic in terms of the franchise, but Sonic has more of a nostalgic, value to it. And, of course, no one made fan Mario characters except if you're fucking weird. But I think it's a way to actually include something new in a game that has been something that I guess people may not have been asking for. I guess because they didn't really expect it to actually happen.
Right.
Yes. But it looks like good. I like the music too because Sonic always has great music. That melodic rock theme. I don't even know just whoever it was. If it's not what's called Crush 40. If it's not that band, it's someone else.
You really like Crush 40, don't you?
I like the music they did for I think it's Sonic Adventures.
I think they also played the song for like Wolf's Rain, the intro song.
Maybe I don't
maybe
know.
Maybe it could be a different person.
I know that it was. I think it was "Open Your Heart" was the opening theme. It used to be the opening theme to a little YouTube show that I watched. It's an animated. It's called Azure Howl. It's really good. That's it.
Anyway, do you have anything else to say? Because I don't like awkward pauses. All right.
Of course you don't.
Move on. Do you want to move on to the next game, which I'm very, very excited for?
Mario Party, the top 100.
Yes.
While not an official Mario Party title, you can't screw over your friends with assholery on the board.
You can still do it in minigame form.
This is a compilation of the 100 best minigames from the 10 main series games. Mario Party 8 was the last quote-unquote full title I played. 9 and 10 lacked the formula and fun for me, so I can't judge those minigames.
Considering that Chugga Conroy actually...
It's all your fault we have the goddamn car.
Went salty about it, but keep going.
Some notable games include Facelift, Shy Guy Says, which are from Mario Party 1, Bowser's Big Blast, Shell Shocked Hexagon Heat from Mario Party 2, The Beat Goes On, Baza 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 Baza, and Chip Shot Challenge from 3, Mario Speedwackins and 3 from 4, Coney Island Dinger Derby, by the way. Coach Kent, what's a Dinger Derby? And Hotel Goomba from 5. Catch You Later and Snow World and Strawberry Short for Yous from 6, The Final Countdown, Track and Yield from 7, Crank the Rank, and Aim of the Game from 8. These games have updated graphics and controls to work on all 3DS titles, with local wireless and download play being supported up to 4 players, which means only one person needs the game cartridge, and then you could have yourself a Mario Party, bitch.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there's no control stick spinning games, and Waluigi can be played in the Mario Party 1 and 2 minigames, and Americans finally get a Nintendo game first on the 10th of November for the 3DS platforms. Japan gets it on the 28th of December, Europe gets it on the 5th of January 2018, and Australia has a January 2018 release date.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say this. I really love Mario Party a lot. It's the game that I really love to play. Unfortunately, they didn't put Aces High on Mario Party 3, which is a shame because that's a very good mini game. The one
also a good Iron Maiden song.
No, the good song, the song that, aka the song where you hear the that song. I can't believe they didn't put that song on there.
Can't believe they put an Iron Maiden. I mean, the one that goes.
But do you want to? But would you want to get this game, Naka?
Duh.
What is your favorite Mario Party, by the way? Mine was 6.
2.
Really?
Yes.
I can't really ask Cruz because you never played Mario Party.
What?
Oh.
Are you
okay?
Wrong. I think I've played 7 and 8. I think are the only ones I've actually played. I liked 8 pretty well, even though that was kind of a new one, but that's the one I played the most. And also had the one for the DS, which is kind of but yeah, I'd love to have a compilation of mini games just as its own thing. So January 2018, I may be able to get this for my birthday, as you said, at some point. Because it's where is it? When do we get it? Is it January 10th? Yeah, that's just before my birthday, so we could do
It
that.
comes out on the 10th of November.
Oh,
Yes.
that's in November. I'm an idiot. Well, I guess I just had to get out on my own then. Even though I'm broke. Well,
Is there anything
there
else
go
you wanna
my
say,
hopes and
or-
dreams.
That will be all from me.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want me to? Is
I
there
think
anything
it's
else that you want
time.
to?
I think it's time we finally address the elephant in the treehouse.
Yes, and for this, I'm gonna have to ask both of you to stay silent on this because this is a very,
Oh,
very
totally. Just let me know when I
important-
can speak. I'm gonna shut the fuck up over here.
Okay.
Yep. This is gonna be a doozy.
Yeah. Before we get
I'll
to the
be
movie
listening,
news,
but-
I have something that is very, very important for me to discuss here, and I think all of the furries can understand exactly what we're going to talk about next.
I will be listening. I will just have my microphone muted. Keep that in mind.
Yes, I would appreciate it if you would both mute your microphones so I can have the floor and basically just talk about what's going on, and then I'll finish it off, and then we can just wait until I finish all I've had to say on the agenda, and then we'll talk about it.
You wrote like a freaking essay for us.
Yeah, Cruz.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make like Naka and do the shut ups.
Okay. Many of you are certainly wondering why this is considered news and why I am asking for the floor without interruptions. We recently went against talking about it for many episodes because at first we thought it was nothing more than a gossip story, but it has gotten to the point where story after story has become more real since Hollywood, despite its defensive, exhaustive strategies to keep this side of the film industry hidden, that it must be discussed. Let me make one thing clear. The film industry is a great place. It houses the many hopes and dreams of future filmmakers to create nothing into art. It allows people to become the best of the best as the years pass by. However, there is one thing that for many years Hollywood has tried to cover up that we didn't know exactly that it was a problem to begin with. Harvey Weinstein of the Weinstein Company has been fired from his own company, is getting a divorce from his wife, lost medals and awards given to him, and the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences expelled him indefinitely, and it was all because of the consistent allegations of sexual harassment, sexual assault, and rape, with around 80 women making these claims. And with that amount, it becomes too difficult to ignore, and soon becomes more news that it actually does become gossip. Harvey Weinstein, unfortunately, had lost it all and is currently under investigation by the many local police departments and is now gathering evidence to secure a warrant for his arrest. After losing the amount of power and control that he had, it only seemed that more and more sexual allegation cases were opening up, almost as if Harvey Weinstein was connected to all of them. Brett Ratner, a famous director making the X-Men franchise, is accused of sexual harassment or misconduct against 6 women, and Warner Brothers has severed ties with him. James Toback, a very well-known screenwriter, has been accused from women of sexual harassment or assault. According to the LA Times, 310 women were called, giving their story on how Toback may have been harassed. Dustin Hoffman was accused of sexual harassment from a 17-year-old girl who was an intern and later apologized for it. But the biggest that opened up probably this past week is that Kevin Spacey, a very well-known actor who has been in great movies and is probably at the height of his career with House of Cards, unfortunately has had the past catch up with him when Anthony Rapp claimed that while drunk, Spacey made a sexual advance toward him in 1986 when he was 14 years old. Spacey responded with a half-hearted apology by also coming out as a gay man in order to distract the media. However, the media is not as dumb as we think we are. Not only did Netflix suspend House of Cards for production, but Spacey was eliminated from House of Cards as a result. I want you all to listen here very carefully because I would like to say precisely what I mean. When one domino goes, the other dominoes go. And it seems that a figure like Weinstein, one of the most powerful men in the film industry who was able to allegedly get away with what he did for so long, is an extremely upsetting matter. If an actress came and said she was assaulted by him, it only seemed obvious that the first person are going to believe is a powerful man who has all the wealth, resources, and power at his disposal. Because the first question that appears in a person's head is, why would a powerful man do such a thing? The key words are not why and would, but rather how and could. What happened in Hollywood is a very sad thing for me to see, how people are so helpless when other people think claims against other higher up people are so preposterous sounding and too good to be true, and facts are never faces until years later. And it seems that after Harvey Weinstein's fall, more dominoes fell on top of each other, one after another. Fortunately, however, sadly, this has caused an empowering move on the other people to stand up and for other people to fess up for what they did. While it is hard for some people who feel trapped, please know that we at S.E.T condemn these allegations. And while we're sad that some acting/directing careers have been ruined, it seems that it's the only solution to make sure this doesn't happen again. Sexual harassment, misconduct, assault, rape, or any nature of this sort must not be tolerated. We cannot be afraid to say something or to stand up and fight. We must not be silent.
Very well said.
Thank you.
I think that it's not. See, what I've seen in this kind of this field has been like the use of these allegations simply to tear down people that women didn't like, or because that happened to Herman Cain, someone running for the Republican primary, and eventually he had to concede because even the allegations were complete bullshit. We all know that. But this, that kind of thing, the false allegations take away from what's real. And unfortunately, that means that the people who have actually, been assaulted or harassed or what have you, are treated the same as people who just are doing it out of spite. And there was a suggestion that, fake rape allegations should be punished, which I would agree on. But of course, this is all real here. We don't know how many of them were, or what happened with each of the women who have accused Harvey Weinstein or the others. We do know what happened to Kevin Spacey, at least to a degree, because he wouldn't have been. We know he's not innocent because he reacted to it in the way he did, which tells us he's not innocent. I mean, otherwise he wouldn't feel like he had much to hide.
Yes,
and I think that's very unfortunate that people who are in the industry like this, and it's not just film, also with music. I think it was with Kesha and her manager Hevet's some shady stuff was going on there. And of course, she couldn't get out of it because of a contract. I think that there should be conditions, at least on some contracts, or just, if something like this happens, that they have the right to terminate a contract if there is, reason to believe that the signer of the contract or someone was sexually assaulted by the company or some person, that they should be able to just get out of it.
And Naka, what do you have to say? Oh, go ahead.
I just have one last little thing.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that people can, our justice system, as flawed as it is. I think one of the big problems with it is that people can simply buy their way out, which is, again, another reference to Slayer's Ditto Head, being that people can just buy their way out of lawsuits or whatever.
Well, people say that Michael Jackson bought his way out, but
it might have. I don't know, but just I think that the main problem just beyond that is just treating them like they're something else, not like as an everyday person. We forget that these figures are actually people too, and that means that they also have the flaws that regular people have, and that they can be guilty of a crime just as much as your average Joe could. So that kind of thinking of them is one of the things that kind of prevents us from taking these allegations seriously, which I mean, allegations don't mean shit.
Yeah,
But if you have
when you have like problems,
when you have proof, and you have the key is reason to believe that this actually happened, that there is a situation where this really could have happened, and if not proof itself, and just the sheer degree of allegations against Weinstein really indicate that, if not to every person who stood up against him, that at least something happened. So we have reason to believe that at least, at the bare minimum, at least a few of them have actually been assaulted. But hopefully this will sort itself out in the court, and whatever judgment must pass shall be done so swiftly, and we can hopefully get rid of some other shady people in the film industry, and basically start anew from this.
Right. And Naka, what do you have to say regarding this?
Well, the unfortunate thing is there have been allegations like this happening in my own city council. Well, not my own city council, but Seattle City Council. Specifically, Mayor Ed Murray, so much so that he had to step down from his office. Let me just tell you one thing. People who are any type of sexual assault victim, like the people who are victims of either sexual assault, sexual abuse, anything like that, you always have my full support if there is functional proof. If you're just going on a whim, or if it's like, oh, I regret having sex with someone, unfortunately, there's not enough basis to...
that should not have any basis just because you regret it. It's like, if that's not how that works. But yeah, I'll stop being an idiot.
And as much...
What is your opinion on Weinstein?
Oh, I think he's a piece of shit. I mean, he's made some, awesome movies or whatever, but the fact that all these allegations are coming out now and a lot of them are actually true, that's bullshit.
And like years and years ago,
This the thing that
the worst part about it is not just that most, if not all, of the allegations are true, but some of them happened like years ago.
That's one of the things that I think can generate doubt, is that, like, the question of why did you wait so long? I mean, of course, there's the reason that people would feel embarrassed and ashamed, and they, of course, don't want to go forward with this lest they want to do irreparable damage, which has now been done. There was something, I think, on Fox. It was a segment with Tucker Carlson, which I actually don't think he's a piece of shit. I'll say that.
Who, Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, he's pretty funny on occasions. Just the way he talks to people.
He's about the only guy in Fox News I can actually tolerate.
Yeah.
But continue.
Yeah.
He completely roasted someone from BLM. It was pretty funny. But what he was saying something about with, I think it was NBC that would have done something. Like, it was posing the question, if not, it might have been NBC, who knows. But that some of the corporations, the news corporations, were trying to cover this up for Weinstein. Like, I think that's kind of not saying I wholeheartly agree with Carlson. I don't know how true the NBC involvement was, but the cover up for this, like covering up crime, like just for a reason of just personal gain, is that's a completely shitty thing to do. Whether it be just from someone else or from a news corporation or what have you.
It's just sad that the only reason why these allegations are now appearing is because of Harvey Weinstein. Like, he was the domino that caused all the other dominoes to fall.
Or like, what was the straw that broke the camel's back, per se? Like, what was the first one to come out against him? Do you know?
I honestly don't know. It's a huge, big story, and then all of these other, it's not.
That's how any movement starts. It starts with one, and then there's two, and then there's.
And then it just multiplies. Yeah, it's
like it's the first and the second that are the most important. So
my only hope is that the film industry will hopefully.
Of course, it'll survive, but I think there should be greater awareness of this and a greater, action taken against this for when it's been identified. proven to be true and should be, people should be, punished as such, as is appropriate to the issue.
Well, we'll just go ahead and say right now, guys, we at SET condemn all of this. All of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Even
Yeah.
as just the beyond the behavior itself, the covering up of it, the the treatment of people. I mean, of course, you want to give them a fair playing field of the unfortunate realities that people will abuse this from both sides, but you have to see how this all plays out.
Mhm.
So, yeah, just sexual assault, rape. It's not fucking cool. Just don't do it.
Believe me,
No.
I give my sister a lot of shit for being a social justice warrior, but she works at a call center for sexual assault and sexual abuse,
Yeah.
all that kind of shit. I actually do respect her for that because, holy fuck, what if that shit happens to me or one of my friends or one of my family?
Or I mean, I'm surprised your sister works there. She was not a victim, was she?
She is not a victim. She is trying to not be a victim, though I think her working there skews her viewpoint on men. That's just my opinion, but I don't speak for her. And off camera, I do make these, sexual assault and, I do make rape jokes from time to time, but that doesn't make me, think that rape is okay. The part of comedy, there's a part of comedy it's supposed to be,
George
it's,
Carlin skit. Yeah.
yes.
Like, fuck you, I think rape is hilarious. How do you like that? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the whole you can't joke about it because it's not funny. That's complete bullshit.
Like, don't get me wrong.
It just has to be done correctly. The key is on where the emphasis lies, is what he said.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. Rape is absolutely disgusting and horrifying, and nobody should ever have to be raped in life. I make rape jokes because, it lightens, it could make something funny in a certain situation. Like being trapped somewhere, having to spend all your money in a video game because you can't leave because you forgot how to leave. And it's like, they're raping me for my money. I'm using that as a joke. I'm not actually saying that in context. Please, I have to say this now because people will just take these clips and then post them all over the internet, and then we will never have this show again if I don't say things with context.
Right.
Context
it is I do feel sad that Kevin Spacey pretty much is severed from Netflix entirely. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is upsetting that he did what he did, but the fact that he got severed from Netflix,
Oh my god, speaking of Kevin Spacey, I'm going to play like a 5-second clip. This is from a Family Guy episode from 2005. It's not going to play for you guys yet, but you guys will be able to hear it in the playback when it's live. But I'm going to play this clip for you guys, and if you can hear it in chat, let us know.
Help! I've escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement! Help me!
So, to put into context what that was...
I heard it
was-
very faintly.
You heard it very faintly because you could probably pick up from my speakers, but
yeah.
what essentially
Oh,
happened was
that
that
was
was a
the
joke
thing.
from 2005 Family Guy episode. It's Stewie saying, "Help! I've just escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement. Help me!" I mean, it's kind of terrible saying that now, but
Wow.
I've always just... That came up recently in
I would
my
expect
mind.
South Park to do that.
But regarding Kevin Spacey, it is a shame because he did play in one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's going to be hard to not see him in this.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is now ruined.
Well,
Call of Duty
Oh,
Advanced
yeah.
Warfare
I was-
sucked
I was-
anyway.
Yeah.
I was actually talking about American Beauty. Great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it. But
Mhm.
it's going to be hard to watch now that you know that
Yeah,
Kevin
that's-
Spacey is
That's
a
another
quote-unquote-
thing that it's not just seeing these people as figures larger than life. It's that it's because you've known these people as good people for so long. I mean, the most notable one for me, which wasn't actually just sexual assault, it was just flat out assault, was Ray Rice, because I'm a Ravens fan. I'm a huge Ravens fan. I even had a Ray Rice jersey back in the day. But to credit for the Ravens, which I wasn't able to do because I wasn't at the stadium at the right time, they're allowing people to return the Ray Rice jerseys for exchange for other jerseys.
Hey, diddle diddle, Ray
I think-
Rice up the middle.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish that were still true. I still remember the 4th and 29 against the Chargers. That was beautiful. But that doesn't excuse, of course, what he did. He, hit his fiance, and of course,
Which is absolutely goddamn terrible.
was kicked off the team, almost I believe indefinitely banned from the NFL. Has taken steps to his credit to atone for that. Of course, he's he seems like he's genuinely sorry for what he did. But yeah, you got to understand that these are people that you, of course, as much as you want to be fans of them, that you have to understand that they're human.
Yeah.
So they're not perfect.
But anyway, guys, regarding the sex allegations, we condemn it wholeheartedly. We hope that, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again.
Which is the unfortunate thing.
It is an unfortunate thing. There's really no stopping, people from wanting to take control. It's a very, very sad thing to see. So
the number one thing, which of course Tom Mariah of Slayer has emphasized, at least just with people, is just taking care of your fellow people, like looking out for people around you. If it's also of course you've probably seen this on public transit. If you see something, say something. I think that's the
don't be afraid to say anything. We'll listen.
Absolutely.
But anyway, we're going to move on from that dreaded topic and get to something into a little bit more lighthearted.
James Earl Jones.
Well, you just spoiled it.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
And speaking of light, it seems that the cast for The Lion King 2019 has finally been revealed. We have James Earl Jones. If we can get the...
I got the image up. I got the picture out in link form, but I have the image finally up. It delays for you guys because you're not on the broadcast.
Right.
But I can see it right now. I can rattle off everybody.
I would prefer if you don't and just let me do the talking. Anyway, guys, the cast for the Lion King 2019 has finally been revealed. We have James Earl Jones reprising his role as Mufasa from the animated classic in 1994. Chiwetel Ejiofor as Scar from 12 Years a Slave. Alfred Woodard as Sarabi. John Oliver as Zazu, a perfect choice in my opinion. John Connie as Rafiki, who will also play King T'Chaka in Black Panther. Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen as Timon and Pumbaa. Eric Andre as Azizi. Florence Kasumba as Shenzi, who will also star in Black Panther. Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele as Kamari. And J.D. McCrary and Shahadi White-Joseph as young Simba and Nala, respectively. In my opinion, every choice was made perfectly. Most of the actors and actresses are from African descent, and since Broadway plays seems to use African descended performers, it would make sense why all these people are voicing all these characters when Pride Rock itself takes place in African savannas.
Yes, I have seen the original play. It was years ago, but I saw it in Broadway, and it was pretty incredible.
Yeah. That, however, leads us to our main roles. Donald Glover as Simba and Beyonce Knowles Carter as Nala. I'll start with the childish Gambino, Donald Glover. I don't know much about his music, but after researching his resume, he seems to have a lot under his belt, with above average to critical acclaim. So while I was skeptical, I am impressed of his work, so I think I'll give him a pass. However, that brings me to Beyonce as Nala.
I would have chosen Queen Latifah.
You mean Queen Latifah? She's too
Latifah,
old.
Latifah, same thing. I'm an idiot. Also,
in my honest opinion, I wish they chose someone different. It's not that she's a bad singer or a bad performer. I just think the only reason why they chose her is to not only bring the Beyonce fans in, but also because Disney thought she was the best African-descended singer when there's plenty of other singers out there. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Pre-production has already started, and we'll be waiting for a trailer for the actual film around 2018. Apparently, there's also been some controversy as people are not very happy that this is happening. What do you guys have to say regarding this?
I'm going to bring it back to the main screen. But
I'm just glad they're bringing some of the original people back.
Mhm.
At least James Earl Jones in particular. I mean, that might make up for Beyonce's.
I mean, we've got Darth Vader. Come on, guys. We've at least got somebody from the original cast, but I do think John Oliver is a great pick.
Yes, I agree.
John Oliver, I mean, because the difference is, like, what's the difference between John Oliver and Trevor Noah? John Oliver is actually funny sometimes. Trevor Noah is just a dumbass. Yeah, seriously. Trevor Noah is a fucking idiot. He's never been funny.
Well, that and John Oliver is British. I mean, Zazu's kind of British too.
John Oliver's kind of just the way he talks, I think, is perfect as Zazu. I mean, for the character too. I mean, people, of course, are going to recognize him for that, his voice. But just, I think that and James Earl Jones, of course, is going to be, those are the best.
Hi,
choices.
I'm Darth Vader, and I'm a Star Wars. Wait, nobody here watches Monster Factory. Fuck.
I did watch Monster Factory, but only from the Fallout 4 one.
That was the first
Unstoppable Pam.
So guys,
what's your destroyed the game?
Hello.
Let Scarfy talk.
Goodbye.
So guys, what is your opinion on the cast of The Lion King 2019? Do you agree with some? Do you disagree with some? Like, what do you have to say?
Get Beyonce out of there, and I think it's good.
Overall, it's good. I think it's interesting. I think, where is it? Seth Rogen is both Timon and Pumbaa. I think that.
No, he's just Pumbaa.
Is he?
Yes.
It says Timon and Pumbaa, but I don't. Oh, I might not have looked at it. But he, he could do a very good Pumbaa, I imagine. So there's some key choices. I think they're very good. Of course, James Earl Jones being the best out of them all. John Oliver also. Keegan-Michael Key, which I've been a fan of him because I used to watch he's on this show of like funniest videos, funniest videos.
I'm pretty sure The Lion King was one of your favorite Disney movies growing up, wasn't it, guys?
Of course. They're
I
doing it.
don't actually really remember.
Really? You never seen The Lion King?
I have. It's just been a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it as well. At least they're doing the original some justice by bringing some of the originals back. As for how the movie will do, I'm not sure, but I do think, and of course, they did choose people who are like, of African descent, or at the very least, sound appropriate in terms of their voices.
Mm-hmm. The only problem that I have with the live-action Lion King is, one, Beyonce, and two, I really, 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 really hope that they're not going to shoot with fucking CGI. But considering the Jungle Book, I think it's safe to say that they probably are.
I mean, unless you're talking about like
is it really that hard? Like, does it really cost a lot of money to go shoot at an actual place than it does to CG everything? Like,
CGing the environment, I don't think is that good. But if it's something like Narnia with like how CG Aslan is perfect, like if they can do that with every character, then I think they're set. But I don't know. We'll have to see just how they pull this off because the cast is here. We can kind of speculate as to how they'll perform, but we don't know for sure. We'll have to see what happens. CGI is a bit of a double-edged sword. I mean, it can be really good if used correctly, and if not, it can turn into something like, I think it was Halle Berry's Catwoman or something, like how it just looked like a rubber blob moving across the screen. Just, yeah.
I wonder if Elton John's going to be in it. No word about that has been said.
Fuck you.
No, but seriously, Elton John is a national treasure. You do not mess with him.
And of course, referencing him in Kingsman 2, which is beautiful. It's like the amount of times he said "fuck you" in that film was amazing.
By the way, Naka, do you agree that Elton John is a national treasure?
I mean, sure. I think
he's a beautiful, beautiful person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beyond being a musician, just
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway,
Let's move on
we're
to
gonna
the
go-
trailer I've seen 8 times today.
I know it is
Oh, yeah.
it is very, very annoying. Oh boy. Oh boy, another Christmas movie. Well, all right, here we go.
Another one.
Daddy's Home 2 is an upcoming American Christmas comedy film directed by Sean Anders, written by Anders and John Morris. It stars Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Linda Cardellini. Sounds like fucking pasta. Anyway,
Tortellini.
John Cena, John Lithgow, and Mel
John
Gibson.
Cena.
And is the sequel to Daddy's Home, released in 2015. Following the events of the first film, Brad and Dusty, played by Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, I said it with a Brooklyn accent,
Mark Wahlberger.
must deal with their intrusive fathers, played by John Lithgow and Mel Gibson, during the holidays, along with Dusty dealing with the stepchild's biological father, played by John Cena. Remember a Bad Mom's Christmas that we briefly went over last week?
No.
Well, basically, this movie is for the dads, only less inappropriate.
Slightly.
It's your typical standard Christmas comedy, laughs to be had, a basic plot element, stupid shenanigans, all that stuff. There's really not much to go over. I'm just surprised they got some A-list actors to play in this film, like they saw something out of it. If you're looking for something that is a waste of time and eating popcorn, I think this film will do fine. The film releases on November 10th. Yeah, there's not much to say regarding this.
Nero, the fuck did you do to me, you bitch?
What do you guys have to say?
No.
I kind of thought the first one, like it's that old. It wasn't that long ago. Like, I thought the first one was not horrible. I mean, they had at least the one argument of them between like black hole, God, that kind of argument they had was pretty fucking funny. But I think they're trying a little too hard with this one, trying to include all these people, with John Cena and Mel Gibson and the others like being added onto this. As much as I love John Cena, I don't know if it's like all good to just keep piling on these actors to try to make it look like, oh, bunch of A-list actors, it'll be a good movie for sure. Well, you don't always know that to be true.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm willing to give it a fair chance. I mean, just because I've seen the first one, and of course, just for John Cena. No, I'm probably not going to go see it out in theaters. I might see it at home at some point on demand. Because I mean, it's one of those movies that I might just want to see, of course, during the holidays. Of course, it's not a Christmas classic like Christmas with the Cranks, which is just one of those so bad it's good kind of things. I mean,
You really like that movie, don't you?
I actually did think it was pretty funny. Like just because I love Tim Allen. That's the entire reason.
Even though that movie is considered like extremely bad for whatever reason.
It's not quite The Room. It's so bad it's good, but it's just one of those. It's so average that it's out averages every other Christmas movie except for Home Alone.
Yeah.
It's just, you just got to watch it for Tim Allen, like you would watch the original It for Tim Curry. It's kind of the same principle.
Anyway, do you guys have anything else to say?
No.
I don't know.
Do you want me to move on?
We're getting all the, poopy Christmas poo-poo movies.
All right. Surprise, this film is getting a sequel. Paddington 2 is an upcoming live-action CGI animated adventure comedy film directed by Paul Keenan, written by King and Simon Farnaby. Based on the stories of the character Paddington Bear, created by Michael Bond, it is the sequel to the 2014 film Paddington. The film stars Ben Winshaw as the voice of the titular character, alongside Hugh Bonneville, Sally Hawkins, Brendan Gleeson, Julie Walters, Jim Broadbent, Peter Capaldi, and Hugh Grant in live-action roles. Paddington, having settled with the Brown family in Windsor Gardens, has become popular in his community. He sees a unique pop-up book in Mr. Gruber's antique shop and performs several odd jobs to purchase it as a present for his Aunt Lucy's 100th birthday. When the book is stolen, it is up to him and the Browns to apprehend the thief. I have some history about these films, both the first and the second. When the teaser of the first Paddington film came out, I thought it wasn't going to be a hit, but not only did the film do incredibly well at the box office, but the film apparently was really good. I mean, It did so well, in fact, that I'm literally thinking to myself, yeah, I want to watch the first Paddington in order to enjoy Paddington 2. And apparently, Paddington 2 is getting very well done reviews too. So I'm not sure if anyone is going out of their way to see this film, despite its predecessor being a critical and financial success. But this is definitely a film series that I just might get into since it seems to be hitting the right notes. The film will be released in the UK on November 10th, while the US will receive the film November 12th. Not sure if this film will only have a limited release, but I'm sure if you look on Fandango or Fathom Events, I'm sure you'll find it no problem. Thoughts, guys?
I'll let Cruz go with the first one.
Okay.
I have to mention that because you mentioned it, there's a little picture of a dog and it has a balloon next to him, and it just says, "Everyone does a float here," which I love. I love those dog memes. So the way this film was done kind of reminds me of the Stuart Little CGI films back in the day, which I kind of enjoyed, at least the first one. The other one with the birds, I don't know, was just I might actually just want to see both. I don't know, because it doesn't look bad. I think it looks like it would be something I would definitely love to see if I was younger, but just for the sake of, indulging in, kids movies, it's not a bad thing to do, of course, because I'm still into, Pokemon. I'm not 12 years old anymore.
But you still play Pokemon.
Yeah, of course. I pre-ordered Ultra Moon. Yeah, I had to check my receipt thing there just to be sure. But yeah, I pre-ordered Ultra Moon. Maybe if I get money, I'll get the gold and silver on the eShop, but I don't know.
Just a quick question, Sinbad. Are you talking about the animated Grinch or the live action Grinch? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's kind of a one. Everyone wants to watch that for Jim Carrey. That's literally the only reason.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, everyone likes the Jim Carrey Grinch. I never understand why.
I like the animated version. Clearly, is the superior version. But just to see Jim Carrey just have a field day, it's just fun to watch it for that. It's just to see that one actor dick around.
Cruz, I am convinced you are literally Jim Carrey incarnate, and you don't want to admit it, but,
it can be. Oh, righty then.
Right.
And, well, apparently, I think you mentioned that there is going to be another Ace Ventura sometime. Maybe, hopefully, Cannibal Corpse will be in that one, too. Because, fun fact, they were in the first Ace Ventura.
Right. Anyway,
awesome. By the way, Cannibal Corpse, their new album, Red Before Black, is currently out now. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, Nako, what do you have to say regarding Paddington 2 and what else you were going to say?
I really don't give a fuck about the Paddington franchise. I assume it's good. I'm not assuming it's bad. I really just do not give a fuck.
Smoking.
Okay. Well, do you want me to move on to
good movie?
Pretty much.
This one looks fucking hilarious.
I've been able to look past more of the comedy and more of the story as well. So, yeah, let's continue.
Oh man, this movie speaks volumes. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri is a 2017 dark comedy film written, co-produced, and directed by Martin McDonough. It stars Frances McDormand, Woody Harrelson, Sam Rockwell, John Hawkes, and Peter Dinklage. Just so you know, this is the Red Band trailer, so if any of you are 18 or young, if any of you are 18 and older, you will be able to see this awesome trailer.
Just watch. If any of you are 18 or under, go watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck the police.
Anyway, after months have passed without a culprit in her daughter's murder case, Mildred Hayes, Academy Award winner Frances McDormand, makes a bold move, painting 3 signs leading into her town with a controversial message directed at William Willoughby, Academy Award nominee Woody Harrelson, the town's Reverend Chief of Police. When his second-in-commander, Officer Dixon, played by Sam Rockwell, an immature mother's boy with a penchant for violence, gets involved, the battle between Mildred and Ebbing's law enforcement is only excavated. Not only is this film doing extremely well critically, but apparently my co-hosts are very excited for this movie, if only because they mentioned that the comedy was more equivalent to that of George Carlin, and not that I can't see it, but I hope that they see something more in this film than just comedic value.
I literally just said that I see more than just comedy.
Yeah, in my opinion,
I think this one might be the one that lives up to that kind of level of comedy.
Yeah, in my opinion, I want to see this film too, but hopefully it's more interesting than comical from a critic's point of view. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Not expecting this film to make a lot of money, but I am curious to see how the film is going to play out. If you're interested, the film releases November 10th and later on January 12th in the UK next year. What do you guys have to say? Wow. Like, because the minute I showed you the trailer, you were very interested.
We were both yes.
Yes,
yeah,
like
the raw comedy of this, like the way I think it does resemble George Carlin somewhat is that the no filter kind of comedy that Carlin had, like it's not always about cursing, but it's just like not holding back when it comes to it as well. Mm-hmm. Like the one part she's passing by the news station, it didn't end anything, you dumb bitch. Why don't you put that on your good fucking morning, Missouri, you dumb whore, or something like that. I thought that was just fucking priceless. It looks like just gonna have so much, just of that. And Carlin, of course, is a master of all kinds of comedy, mostly dark and social related comedy,
right?
Of political as well, stuff like that. I think that this is and it might not be one of the ones that makes a shit ton of money, but it's also because it's definitely at least rated R. I think, I'm not sure.
Because the movie's rated R, this means I have to watch it. No.
Yeah. Yes. That I just believe that it's such a I can't like where has this movie been all my life, where it's not just a dumb comedy, it actually has some base to it. It has a story.
Yeah,
it's a story. That's what I was gonna say.
What do you have to say about this film, Naka?
It actually has story and isn't just ramblings of Carlin, even though I like him. But I actually will see this more for the comedy, but I will actually go see the story in it too, and see the actual plot and see sort of a social commentary on it as well. But I definitely want to go see this. Okay.
Well, I really do that. I really do hope that people actually give this one a watch. I guess it's the time to move on to our fourth and final trailer of the night. It's time to talk about a film that has been adapted almost too much. Clue meets On a Train meets The Hateful Eight. Yeah, I really don't know. Let's just talk about it. Murder on the Orient Express is a 2017 mystery drama film directed by Kenneth Branagh with a screenplay by Michael Green based on the 1934 novel of the same name by Agatha Christie. I believe she is the same writer, correct me if I'm wrong, for writing a different book. I totally forgot. The film stars Branagh as Hercule Poirot, with Penelope Cruz, Willem Dafoe, Judi Dench, Johnny Depp, Josh Gad, Derek Jacobi, Leslie Odom Jr., Michelle Pfeiffer, and Daisy Ridley in supporting roles. The film is the fourth adaptation of Christie's novel, following a 1974 film, a 2001 TV film, and a 2010 episode of Agatha Christie's Poirot. In 1930s Europe, famed detective Hercule Poirot boards the legendary Orient Express for a small break in between cases. While on board, he meets an interesting assortment of characters. One fellow passenger, Samuel Ratchet, implores Mr. Poirot to assist him while on the train, as he fears for his well-being, though Poirot respectfully declines. The next morning, Ratchet is found stabbed to death. With the train halted due to a snow build on the tracks and with evidence and suspecting pileup, Poirot finds himself diving into a case that could be as big as yet. The cinematography is stellar, the actors are well chosen, and everything seems to be in top shape. But there is, however, a big problem. The story has been adapted 3 times already. One as a film, one as a TV film, and an episode of a TV show. So this is a problem. Should we watch the originals before watching this film? Or should we consider them outdated and actually wait for the new film to come out? I honestly don't know. One of my co-hosts expressed that this was just Clue on a train, and I can totally understand that, and I have no problem recognizing that at all. But what I will say that is that I personally think this film still has an original story despite that. This is a film that I probably will see, and it will be better. And will it be better than The Hateful Eight or Clue? Probably not, but it does leave me intrigued. If you're intrigued as well, the film will also be released November 10th. What do you guys have to say?
Oh, it's just a murder mystery on a train.
Naka. No, none of that, please. You're gonna have to speak genuinely about this.
I've seen this story before so many times, whether it be in novels.
Really? Have you seen The Hateful Eight?
Not The Hateful Eight, as in Murder on the Orient Express. Somebody's a killer, and I've seen The Hateful Eight. The Hateful Eight is great, but if we're talking about Murder on the Orient Express, the kind of story itself, how it's kind of like Clue, I've seen that story many times before, whether it be in video games, film, TV, or novels for that matter. Mm-hmm. So while that part doesn't really interest me, if it's got cinematography like The Hateful Eight, it might be worth my time.
Right.
But yeah, that's my pace on it.
What do you have to say regarding this film, Cruz?
Of course, it is kind of like The Hateful Eight in a winter setting. But of course, it's not,
Mm-hmm.
It's not Tarantino. That's
right.
But I do think the actors list looks very promising. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, the A-list actors list could mean fuck all in the big picture.
Right.
However, from the trailers, I do think that this one does look like it should be, at the very least, interesting, albeit, a story that's been rehashed since the beginning of time. It's just I think just the way to see the way that the actors do their roles in this, I think should be very interesting. Might not be a theater film for me, but it does still look like a one that might be worth watching at home. Who knows?
Mm. And is there anything else that you want to say, or?
I think that's all, folks.
Now, chat, you're going to be surprised for what I have to say right now. And apparently, while I was looking on I looked on both IMDb, I looked on my sources, there was not a single original coming attraction. I know. Most of them were just repeats or reissues of trailers featuring content that we usually talk about when the movie's about to come out, and there's no point in showing them. So, man, I don't even know what to say.
As far as ones coming up, the only one that caught my attention, of course, they was mentioned briefly, was Black Panther, which I think looks fucking amazing.
Black Panther.
And the Disaster Artist.
Yes, of course. That just... I can't wait for that.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, we do have... I guess I can talk about what happened while I was at the theater. So, story time. I was at my movie theater going to work, and apparently I was on door. And if you don't know what the term door is, it's basically you're ripping people's tickets and directing them where to go. And basically, one of my rules at the theater is that I literally have to ask to see inside bags. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, Scarfy, isn't that something you're not allowed to do? Well, apparently, I'm not allowed to touch the bag. I am allowed to see inside it, however.
It's not like a stadium. We're allowed to, just have that little drumstick in there and just poke around.
Right. We don't have... we kind of do this quote to check to make sure that people don't have quote unquote weapons, quote unquote
contraband
recording devices, but usually it's just the usual stuff is what we find in there is usually outside food, which we kind of do have to tell people to go outside and finish your outside food before you can let in the theater.
Popcorn into the theater all the time.
Yeah, and
I used to do that a lot.
So just for the record, guys, I was doing door, and what I was doing is basically there was this one customer who came with a family, and they had a huge duffel bag. And I'm trying to wonder.
boy.
Okay, yeah. So they looked. So I said, "May I see inside your
What are
bag,
they
please?"
bringing in? Camping equipment?
Just let me finish my story, okay? So what they brought inside the bag, there was a bag, right? And there was all these napkins with the term Chipotle on them.
They brought their whole fucking dinner in there.
Well, now
That's
now
I
now
gotta
what am I
applaud
supposed to
that.
say? I can't really make a false accusation. So I used my best judgment and decided to leave them in anyway. But then there was this other customer who I swear to God has been under my skin because I told her to literally go out and finish your food. And I've seen her a total of 3 times my entire life. So she confronted me about it, and literally, like, she's like, why did you let you told us to throw our food away, but why did you let them bring in Chipotle? Well, first off, I didn't see the Chipotle food. I only saw Chipotle napkins. They could have other stuff in that bag for all I care, for all I know. You know, because like it's like, what if I somehow made a false accusation? You know what I mean? Like, say, hey, I do apologize, but you're not allowed to bring outside food. You'll have to finish it out here. But then they could say, oh, well, this is an outside food. And I'm like, well, I can't really tell people to take stuff out of the bag because then that's considered larceny by me. I could get in trouble for accusatory larceny. So,
I don't know about larceny. I mean, Fourth Amendment, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's not really search and seizure. I'm not like stealing their property, but you know. So basically, like, this bitch, I'm literally gonna call her that. This bitch went to go and talk to all of my other coworkers and tell me to literally get me off door because I'm quote unquote not doing my job right when I clearly was doing my job right.
That's a bitch move.
Yeah,
I will call a woman a bitch for that.
Yeah,
it's a bitchable offense.
So and then she called me retarded on my job, which, you know, whatever. Like, that really has an effect on me. No, it doesn't. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. What happened at my theater that day? So
I would just go to the manager and say, can we ban her from the theater? You know, for at least a year. I mean, I would literally go to the manager and just say that. I mean, I have no fucking problem just going, you know, balls to the wall, hammer down.
I cannot literally.
Can we get them the fuck out of here? Because I've had some experience with customers like this. There was, you know, when I delivered food, there's one woman who like made me stay outside her door for like 3 minutes while she like went through meticulously checking the food in the bag. I'm like, God, I have other food to deliver that is getting cold. But you just have, you know, asshole anal retentive customers like this. Of course, you have to try to be patient because the customer is always right, except when they're
not.
Yeah, but I'll just go ahead and say it. I didn't tell my manager about this, but she went ahead and went to go tell, like, pretty much like all my supervisors, and my supervisors thankfully just kicked me off and had me replaced on door with some floor on someone else, and then I eventually went back on door. So, you know, like, it just goes to show you there's some pretty nasty people out there.
Petty.
You know, petty.
That is as petty as it gets. If your life is so boring and shitty that you have to argue this kind of thing at a movie theater, fuck you.
Yeah.
Sincerely.
I mean, like, even if the customer did have Chipotle in the bag, what am I supposed to tell them? Take it out? You know, I can't really do that. You know, it's just really stupid. But anyway, this is just a movie theater. Had I been working at In-N-Out, I'd probably have a different experience, because when you're working at In-N-Out, you are on your feet like the entire hours of your shift. It is not even crazy. It's so crazy. Yeah. You are working your ass off at In-N-Out. But anyway, that's really all I have to say regarding my story tonight. And that is our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I know that we don't have any coming attractions to deal with, but I guess we'll just go ahead and say, if you want to donate to us, please donate on Streamlabs, Streamlabs.Subwuffer Entertainment. Support the stream with all you can do. You know, we deserve all the help that we can get. We want to make Subwoofer Entertainment Treehouse a bigger and better place. We want to make sure that people are having a fun time here. We want to make sure that people are doing their best to make, doing the best, having fun. And Felix, we're gonna have to talk about you because I think you deserve a spot on our show. What do you guys
Not
think?
in a bad
You're
way. In a good way,
You're the
talk about you.
real MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, just we're grateful to all of you guys. I mean, we can tell who the regulars are: Felix, Ralph, Nero, Cody.
You have to log in to donate.
Log into PayPal
You have to log into PayPal, or you can
or
use your
credit or use your credit card.
credit or debit. Credit, debit.
Do you think
doesn't
this is
matter.
a game?
One of the two.
Crab a debit. Quick, how do you spell crabs? Pretty sure there's a B in it.
Yeah, close enough.
I would like to buy this piece of plastic with this piece of plastic.
Anyway,
Well, you have successfully liquidated our entire stock of plungers. Would you like to put that on credit or debit? Credit. What?
Credit?
Did you just say credit? Debit. Do you think this is a game?
but anyway, guys. Regarding, do you want to? I mean, talk a little bit about supporting our stream.
I don't know. We have to do is just time to kill. Killing time. I mean,
We're not using this to pay our rent. We solely use this.
we have no rent.
Yeah, we have no rent to pay. We solely use this for supporting the stream in any way we can. But anyway, guys.
Crabs are my items, bitch.
As a Marylander, I appreciate that payment.
Anyway, guys,
Crab is delicious.
This has been our show for tonight. My name is Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
And I'm
Interrupting.
And this is Subwoofer Entertainment Treehouse.
Dick.
Have yourselves a fantastic night and take care. Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you for the ride.
Goodbye.
You are my best friends, and I will never forget you. I am getting quieter now as I am further away from you.